in the building.
We live.
Yes, yes, yes. Going down here at the Cosmetology School of Las Vegas institution. About to drop some games, some gems about getting this credit right. And for those that are looking to pursue, possibly open up their own business, show them how to get that funding so you don't have to come out of pocket ever again to invest in your dreams and goals. Ooh. Hey, hey. Fabulous, and yourself? Great morning, great morning. Thank you, thank you. Everybody see the screen okay? Perfect. Appreciate everybody's patience, first and foremost. Sometimes technology tries to get the best of us. My name is Brian Robinson, the financial trapper. Basically, the acronym I have for TRAP is take risk and prosper. And I see a lot of you are taking that risk to invest in your skill sets to take your vision, dreams, and goals to the next level. By a show of hands, who in here has a goal that you're looking to accomplish once you finish with school? By a show of hands. Perfect. Keep your hands up if you look to open up your own location. Perfect. Is that either a studio or actual full salon? Which one? Which one are majority you guys going for? The small studio, like in the, what is it called? The salon thing? Yeah. So pretty much I'm here to basically open and show you guys what's possible without needing to use your own hard-earned money, to where you can utilize the bank's resources to get you further ahead and help you accomplish all the things that you're going for. Can we hit the next slide, please? Probably just the arrow. Yep. Perfect. So this is who I am. This is before and after. The left is what I use, obviously, when I had locks. I'm from Las Vegas. I went over 20 years of my life without financial literacy. Okay. I was a professional hip hop dancer for 20 plus years. Former street entrepreneur for over 8 years. I don't really need to go into too much detail about that. But being a street entrepreneur enticed me to stay more financially illiterate, because you're dealing with cash all the time. So you think you don't really need bank money or any type of credit cards or things of that nature. I'm a proud father of two daughters. My youngest is 15, my oldest is 18. I've been in the credit space for myself and now running a business for over 8 years. Personally funded myself over $250,000 through credit with banks and loans. I removed over $500,000 in debt for all my clients, and I got over $300,000 in funding for my clients to take their vision and goals to the next level. Next slide for me. Credit. All right. Are we familiar with what credit is, how it works? Yes. Have we applied for something, either been approved or been denied? It's only two possibilities. There's no, let's see what happens. It's either you get approved or you get denied, right? So credit, the ability of a customer to obtain goods or services before payment will be made in the future. For a lot of us, we get introduced to this by asking mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, best friend, a neighbor, if you cool with them, hey, can I borrow this? I'll pay you back, right? So depending on your character is what will allow them or somebody to make that decision to let you borrow that type of money or whatever it is that you're asking for. Does that make sense? Vice versa. Somebody comes to you. What do we look at if they come in to ask, hey, can I hold? Can I borrow? I'll pay you back. What are we paying attention to? Have you done this before? Did you pay me back if you asked in the past? Or am I aware that you paid whoever you asked in the past or before? Did they get their money back? Because that's how these institutions look at our credit reports when it comes to us asking for that type of money or those type of credit limits. Does that make sense? Perfect. Next slide. So this right here, I'm going to go through this. Can you guys see that okay? This is what I call the adult report card, right? We have 6 categories that the banks look at. And so 6 categories, 6 classes like we had in school. So I coined it the adult report card, but in the bank's world and with the credit report, these are referred to as your data points. Now, this is what matters the most in what your actual score says. There are people out here with a 720, 750 credit score that doesn't have all these green lines right here. They'll have some red, but they'll still have a high credit score, but that still doesn't mean that they're going to get approved for the things that they apply for, right? So the most important one, we have payment history. Are you making on-time payments? This represents 35% of your credit score. So if you have a late payment on a cell phone bill, your any utility bill, anything that's connected to your social security number, and once that company sends it to the credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, if it shows that it's late, regardless of how much, it could be for $15. It doesn't matter. If it shows that it's late, whatever your score is, take 35% away from that. Off of one little late payment, like I said, no matter how big, how small, once it reports to the credit bureaus, your score drops 35%. Then we have the second biggest impact is credit card utilization. Who in here has a credit card? By a show of hands. Perfect. So, utilization. On here it says 6%. The standard is 30% that you want to show that you've used of the credit card. So, for example, $1,000, that means you've only used $300 of that $1,000 credit limit. That would be 30%, right? We want to buckle down when it's time to try to get approved for, well, this is specifically a look for when you're looking to get approved for high limit credit cards or actual business line of credit, right? Or a personal line of credit. This is like what you want to have your data points look like. So let's just say at 10%, that means you only have $100 shown that you used out of the 1,000. Does that make sense? Yeah? Don't be afraid to talk to me. I promise I won't personally isolate you out, but let's keep this energy up. Let's keep this energy up. So that means when they report how much you used, right, that is what is going to show. Now, the biggest scam with credit cards is what they call the due date. Your due date is the biggest scam for credit cards because that's not what they go by when they report your utilization to the credit bureaus. They are using what we call the statement date or the reporting date to when they're sending your data to the credit bureau. So that means if you use $500 of that 1,000 and you're waiting for the due date to pay that $500 back, your reporting date might be 2 weeks before the due date. Therefore, that they're going to send it to the credit bureaus that you're at 50% utilization before you even took care of the balance when you could have took care of that balance for that statement or reporting date. Does that make sense? So the biggest money maker for credit cards are what? What is the biggest money maker for credit cards? What are people's biggest complaint about? Interest rate. Yes. This is how they get their interest rate off of you, is because you're waiting for the due date. They're not telling you purposely to pay on the statement date because they want to make the most money from us, right? So they're going to continue to hope people just stay uneducated about that and just hope that they're paying it off on the due date when in reality, they're reporting your data to the credit bureaus on the statement or reporting date.
Okay, so the statement date, you're talking about the one at the beginning of your credit card thing?
Yes, because every date is different.
Right.
So on your billing statement, it'll say statement date,
Right.
and it'll give you a whole different date than your actual due date.
Okay.
And if you don't know when your statement or reporting date is, you can just call the number on the back of your card. Once somebody picks up the phone, just say, hey, when's my statement date? And then they'll give you the actual date right then and there. It's literally less than a 5-minute conversation. Yeah, makes sense? Good? Okay, this is 30% of your credit score. So if you're reporting a high utilization over 30% on the time that they report your data to the credit bureaus, you're already going to take a 30% hit. So just off one late payment over high utilization on your credit card, that's already 65% of your score. And these are the two basic things that are in our own control. But if we're not aware of this utilization thing, that's 30% out of here. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Now we have derogatory marks collections. This is self-explanatory. But one thing about collections, if we've dealt with collections, you don't want to pay them off with the debt collector that keeps on calling you, emailing you. That is violating your consumer rights, right? It's called truth in lending. By law, these debt collectors are not legally allowed to reach out to you because you did not give whoever the original creditor was that you got the agreement with rights for these people, these third party companies to use your personal information. We didn't give them their rights, so they're violating your rights by constantly calling you. So, only way we'll pay for collections is if that collection company will guarantee us a letter of deletion. If we do not get a letter of deletion, when you pay that collection off, it will still show up on your credit report. So what we want to do is we want to go after those collections and dispute them and see all the inaccuracies that they report on the credit report. Does that make sense so far? Cool. Age of credit history. This is how long you've had an account. Was that a question or you just had your hand?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. She's like, I'm yawning. Uh, this is how long you've had a positive account reporting to your credit report. So a lot of us might have loans. We might have student loans. I deal with a lot of clients like, man, can I get rid of these student loans off my credit report when that might be their best age of credit history and it still shows that it's in good faith. So depending on how long that you've had an actual account that's reporting positive will help your credit age. And when it comes to, like I said, getting funding, high limit credit cards, you want at least an account over 5 years. There's many ways to get age added to your credit report for your data points. You can become an authorized user off of somebody that you know that is responsible. They can make you authorized user on their credit card. If it's grandma that had that Visa since 99, she can add you on and you'd have 20 plus years now on your report. But if grandma likes to go up and down with that utilization, that's going to reflect on your credit report as well. So just make sure you're very wise if you want to go that route on who you're asking to be an authorized user and vice versa if they're asking you as well. So 5 years is like the great status, but you can have two. You just make sure you have at least over 2 years of credit age history when it's time to go apply for the things that you need to take, once again, your vision and dreams further. Next, we have mixed accounts, total accounts. On here, we have 17. I tell my clients that are fairly new to this, we want to get you to at least 8 to 10. This is where you might have a car note. This is where you might have a credit card. This is where you might have a loan, a secure loan. You might have an account at the furniture store. Anything where they're utilizing your Social Security besides utility bills, this would be considered a mixed account. There's a bunch of soft primary companies that don't hurt when you apply for them that gives you these type of mixed accounts, but you typically want at least 10 variety. You don't want all credit cards because when these banks and these companies are looking at your data points, they want to see that you can handle very different accounts versus just the same thing. They want to see that you have a variety. Does that make sense? Hard inquiries. Yes.
Question. So what if, like for me, for example, I own my cars. I don't want a car note. I have a couple of credit cards, which
Mm-hmm.
are they in good standing?
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend as in a variety of open accounts to have? If I don't want a car note, and if I don't know, I mean, I could get a couple of credit cards if
Mm-hmm.
needed, like especially like those like 21 zero interest
Mm-hmm.
promo rates that I get. But
Yep.
besides credit cards, what is another line of credit that you can get besides mortgages, of course?
No, absolutely. You can do a secure. You can get a secure loan, which is called a what's the word I'm looking for? It's called pledge loan. You can do a pledge loan, which is basically I invest 1,000 into a pledge loan, and the bank will give you back that $1,000. But now you're making payments back to the bank, and once you make those payments, they give you that 1,000 back as well. So that's a pledge loan. You can get a variety. You can get more than one. Certain banks they might allow you to do 3, but you can get a few pledge loans if you need furniture. Like this is the concept that we get messed up with. Like how you're saying you don't want a car note. Completely understandable. The only way the car note thing should like not be an option is if you're like looking to Toro your cars or you're looking to flip cars. But outside of that, the car is going to be like the biggest depreciation thing that we have. So having a car note actually helps your mixed account to show that you're responsible. And even if you need furniture, you need anything to help fill up your studios, your salons. You want to figure out where you can go to open up some type of account with that company so you can now use the credit to get those things and make the payments back. It's just the same as having that money set to the side, is the same as I'm going to take what I have set to the side to now gradually make payments to pay off those things that I have, right? Because we're so in fear of, oh, the car note, the car note, the car note. But once again, to get approved for things, they want to see us use it. If we don't use any of the credit stuff, we're not going to get approved for it, or we're not going to be able to get those bigger limits. So it's kind of like a yin and yang situation where it's like, oh, okay, credit is this, credit is that. But at the same time, if we want to utilize it, we have to show that we can be responsible with it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So like RC Willie or any of these furniture stores that you see up and down, go in there. Is there stuff in there that you can use for your home or for your place of business? Get an account with them. Obviously, don't go overboard. And we'll get into budgeting and all that next coming up. But you want to be able to strategize, not saying, here's $4,000. Let me go grab it all at once. No. I have $4,000. They're going to let me get $4,000 worth of supplies, equipment, but now I only have to pay $300 a month for the next 2 years, right? Now that business is starting to accumulate, now I can take my profits to now pay it off because I already utilized having those accounts to get me the extra funding I need to move forward. Does that make sense? Yes, yes, yeah. Next, we have hard inquiries. This is basically where you're approving for things that are either approving you or declining you. If you went to a dealership, which you should never do again after today, don't ever let a dealership pull your credit report, right? Go to your bank that you have a relationship with or a credit union. Those are the two best. The credit union is the best, but if you already have a relationship at a Chase, B of A, U.S. Bank, then go there and let them approve you for the type of vehicle you're looking for. But do not go to a car lot unless you're going like strictly to Mercedes. Like they have their own specific lender. Like Mercedes has their own lender. I believe BMW has their own lender and Audi has their own lender. But besides that, they are going to just say, hey, here's a social number. Which bank can give you the loan? You might get hit with over 10, 20 hard inquiries to get you approved for that vehicle. Now, when you're moving forward and you want to go get that credit card or you want to go try to get some business funding, you're going to be looked at as, hey, did Sheila come and ask you to borrow $400? Yeah, I heard she asked Bill. I heard she asked Don. I heard she asked Robert over there. What'd they say? They said, no, we can't do it. Oh, okay. Sorry, baby, I can't help you out. I just looked at how many inquiries you put in to get this $400. If they told you no, I'm definitely telling you no. And so that's how that works when it comes to the hard inquiries on what you're applying for. So if anybody on your credit report, next time you look at it, if you have Santander on your credit report, that means your social security number was tossed around for sure over 8 to 15 times for trying to get approved for that car. Santander is one of the worst lenders out here that you can get approved for. Obviously, everybody's situation is different. Something's better than nothing, but you don't want to go in there and say, hey, yes, let me see what I can get approved for, because they're going to run you through bare minimum at least 4 to 6 banks to see who can give you the best interest rate for your car note. Okay, so don't go to the dealerships. Already go to your bank, get pre-approved, where you don't get a hard inquiry until you accept the loan for exactly knowing what you want. Now you take that check to the dealership and say, hey, here's the money for the vehicle, and you're done. Okay, next slide. Any questions on this so far? Adult report card. Let's get it. Okay, Debit card versus a credit card. Who all has a debit card in here by a show of hands? Anybody has a debit card in the back? Anybody have a debit card in the back? Nah? Okay. So debit card versus credit card. The debit card benefits, it only pays your credit card balance. Is the only benefit a debit card has is that you can deposit money into your bank account to now pay off your credit card, right? Debit card gives you no benefits to use it. If you have any fraud issues, my daughter just had a fraudulent activity issue. She can't use her debit card or her bank. She wasn't able to for at least 5 days. What if rent's due within those 5 days? What if emergencies due in those 5 days, but your money's locked up because the bank's fraudulent system for debit cards aren't crazy, and they take their time to get you your debit card back, open up your bank account again. Now you got to change all your information and do all that stuff for fraudulent activity, no matter how much or how little the cost was. Now, credit cards. You're going to get the best fraudulent protection because all the credit card companies is a multi-billion-dollar company versus the $250,000 FDIC protection that a bank gives you for the debit card. Visa, Amex, MasterCard, right? They're going to give you the best protection, and they're going to make sure that you get reimbursed immediately and send you a temporary number that you can use or add onto your phone now with the mobile wallet. You get reward points when you must make sure before you apply for credit cards, you see which one deserves my business. Which one's going to reward me the best to swipe this card? Which one's giving me the cash back? Which one's giving me the reward points? Which one of these credit card companies can deal with things that I like? There are certain credit cards, if you like to fly certain airlines, there's a specific credit card that goes towards those airlines. If there's certain stores you like to go to, they give bigger rewards and bigger cash back that you go to. So you really want to pay attention to the rewards and the cash back bonuses you can get from these credit cards. Travel perks, which you using your credit card, since all of you are in the beauty business, you're going to need to buy supplies, yes? Moving forward, use your credit card, right? Let's say you had to do a $10,000 order every month because business is booming and you're swiping that Amex or you're swiping that Visa card. You're going to get reward points back. Moving forward, you can now go into your travel portal with your credit card, and now you can book a trip pretty much anywhere around the world, first class, on your points, and all you're paying for is just the taxes and fees, which are usually less than $500 to go anywhere in the world for you using your credit card to invest in your business that makes you money. So now I'm using my credit card that's making me money, and now when it's time to go pat myself on the back or leisure time, a vacation, the credit card can now take care of that. You want to get in a luxury rental. You want to rent a yacht. Sky's the limit. You want to do a redeem purchase. You have 80,000 points, 100,000 points. Now you can walk into Gucci, Louis, Birkin. You can walk in any one of those, and now you can purchase it from your business spending, which now pats you on the back for running a successful business. So now you're not taking thousands of dollars to buy you something that you feel you've earned. Now you're getting rewarded for it because you're doing it wisely with using your credit card to run your business off those points, get you the bag, get you the shoes, take you on that first class flight for running your business correctly and using a credit card. Debit cards will never do that for you. Any questions on this? Cool beans. Next slide, please. Woo! Budgeting. Budgeting. I don't know if you guys were like me, but when I was younger, I thought this meant we were broke. Every time, Mom, no, it's not in the budget. Put that back. It's not in the budget. What you want for? Oh, no, that's not in the budget. You can't get that for your birthday, right? Growing up, I hated this word. So until I was about like 27, 28 is when I found out why you need one of these, right? I thought this meant I was broke, so I didn't want to have a budget. I just want to make a bunch of money and not have to follow a budget and sound like my parents. But unfortunately, I didn't realize how uneducated my parents were at financial literacy, and then understanding every successful person on this planet has a budget. A spending plan that takes into account estimated current and future income and expenses for a specific future time period, right? It's kind of hard to see, but we have our income. How much are we making a month, right? How much are we making a month from everything, right? From your main gig, your side hustles, if you have investments coming in, add all that up. What does that look like at the end of the month? You have expenses. What are your necessities? Okay, necessities. Who can name me a necessity that you need every single month? Who can give me one? Food. You need your toiletries. What else? What's a necessity? Utilities. We need power. We need Wi-Fi now. Okay, it's crazy, right? What else? What else a necessity? Gas. You got to travel. Got to put the car in. Or if you're paying for electric, you still an expense. What else? Whoa, rent. Childcare. Right now. Did I hear Netflix? Did I hear any apps? Apple Music, Spotify, Shopify. Okay? You understand? Those aren't necessities. We only really have about 6, maybe 7 insurance. You want to add that, right? Those are necessities. Those are the things that we really need to budget for. Everything else is now becoming a habit or behavior situation of, I deserve that. I put in overtime. I'm getting that. I deserve these. Or, I'm daddy's little girl. I'm a girl dad. Daddy, can I get this? Can I get that? You know what? You've been real good. Yeah. Whoa. Wait a minute. Now that we bought that, dang, I forgot that was due. Now I'm late on the necessity because I wanted to make my child, my girls feel good for a moment in time versus not right now. Let's put it on a goal list. Let's look at, do y'all even really want this? And let's earn it and see if you still really want that action figure or you want those light up shoes, the lip gloss kit, whatever, so many things now, right? Don't put yourself in a dangerous situation to make our kids feel good on material things. Trust me, I came from some of the roughest upbringings of not being able to do what I want and been that parent. I'm going to do what my parents couldn't do. I promise you. I'm going to give my kids whatever they want, right? Who says that? We all do if we came from a rough time growing up. Man, I'm going to make sure my kids don't never live like how I did. Well, unfortunately, if things don't go right, who's going to take care of you? The kids can't step up because they're too young. So we got to make sure that we're making wiser decisions when it comes to our kids understanding what's really taking place. And our kids do what we do, not what we say, right? They do what we do, not what we say. So expenses. Then we have savings. Obviously, that's setting money to the side. Ideally, for a savings, we'll get more into this in the next slide. You want to have an emergency fund set to the side. There's a thing that is called Murphy's Committee. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. Well, he got a committee that's a part of our life as we're growing up, right? Life keeps life in, FML, why me, all that's Murphy Committee. Murphy's going to throw his committee at you at different stages in your life, right? Right now, Murphy Committee might be on some of you guys just getting here to finish out the school. Then when you get into your business and your suites and your salons, Murphy Committee is going to send some of the wrong people that try to take your business down, right? He's going to come in all stages of life, but the best thing you can do is be prepared because most of the things that he's going to bring are mainly affecting you financially. So if you have an emergency fund, I like to call that Murphy repellent. Now you're able to not have to wait, okay, I'm going to be able to take care of that when I get paid in 2 weeks or next week or 3 weeks versus, oh, okay, this was only $300, a flat tire or something happened where we had to go to the hospital. Like most of our emergencies that happen out of the blue, 9 times out of 10 are not like a catastrophe, right? Most things cost us less than $1,000 to handle like that, whatever the cases might be on a probability standpoint. Now, obviously, we got anomalies and things like that, but ideally, you have at least 1,000 set to the side. You'll be able to handle most situations that I'm sure all of us can go dial back to, where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I had to wait to get that paycheck, or, oh man, the kids, something, the dentist appointments, etc., things of that nature. Yeah. Whew. Liabilities. What is a liability? Can somebody name me a liability? I'll give you the definition real quick. Cheat code. Liability is anything that you purchase that takes money out of your pocket. It takes money away, right? Takes money away. Certain kids' things, right? Kids' things. Not just going to say the kids, but what else? What else? Liability. Nah, I mean, it's a bill. It's a necessity. A necessity can't be a liability. Does that make sense? Because you need it. A liability is buying stuff you don't need. Second car, I mean, it depends.
Hair extensions.
Hair extensions.
You gotta do the maintenance and you don't need it, but you want it, and then you want to take them off.
Yes, we'll get back to that. How that can there can be a little argument there. Another liability. What about when we go to the drive-through? Do we got, fast food is mandatory, or can we cook? Can we grocery shop? Do we got to go to Starbucks, or can we make the Starbucks at home? Right. So it's certain things that become a liability, because now once you're tracking what you're spending, you're going to say Starbucks, Chick-fil-A. Oh, me and the girls, we wanted to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, me and the girls also wanted to go to the hookah spot. Liabilities, yeah? Liabilities, things that take money out of your pocket and bring you nothing back. Assets.
Stepping out the house is a liability.
Depends. Like I said, it just depends. An asset, things that put money into your pocket, into your bank account. Give me an example of an asset. Yes.
Rental property.
Rental property, beautiful. Another example of an asset. Timeshare, nice. Come on, it's super simple. Come on. Give me another one. Anybody in the back? Anybody?
Investment.
Yes. That puts, what can put money? Okay, what about what you guys do? Everybody's here to be a stylist, yes? For the most part. So what do you have to buy to fulfill your client's needs? Okay, give me an example of one of your products. Conditioner. So now you get the conditioner for what price? What price you getting it for? Because you're buying it, obviously you want to get it at the cheapest price, so that would be called what? Wholesale. A wholesale price. You're not going to get, ideally, I don't know exactly how it works to a science, but once you're fully fledged running your business, I don't think you're going to want to go to Sally's or the basic beauty supply store and pay the same price, and you're buying a bulk of products that you need. You would look to get a discount, yes? So now, if you're getting that conditioner at a discounted price, how many clients are coming out of that conditioner that you're using? So 20, and now that conditioner costs you how much? What would that cost you, a conditioner? Just give me a price. $10. How much are those 20 clients paying you? So 300 each times 20. What you got? 6,000. 6,000 off of $10. Right? So you just put $5,990 of profit into your bank account. So now that conditioner is an asset because you're utilizing it. What about the hair you guys have to buy? Or when the client wants to get that lace front, or they want to get the braids, right? If you already have the plug for the hair, the client just comes and pays you for that. Now you're getting paid for the hair and for the time you're putting to do the style, right? So that's an asset. We getting there. We picking up what I'm putting down. Yes, right. Simple asset. The Birkin bag, the Gucci bag. I got it for $2,000, right? Found a deal on it. I got a plug. Oh, one of the homies or somebody's. You out, and the girl, oh, I like that bag. You want it? Yeah. $3,000. That bag just made me $1,000. Yes, now that Gucci bag became an asset, not a liability. See what I'm saying? The assets can be as simple as they're extremely simple, but we tend to think that it's more to it than what it is. Does that make sense? Same with the car. I got the car for $5,000. I was able to rent it out, and now I made $10,000 from renting the car out. Now the car is an asset versus being depreciated in value. Yeah. So those are your assets, liabilities. I love this exercise. Next slide, please. Any questions on that? So we have the envelope system, right? This goes back to the test of time, the envelope system. We have bills, savings, investing, spending, giving / tithing if you go to church, right? So bills gets 50% of what our income was at the end of the month. So if we made, we'll keep it simple. So if we made $1,000, $500 is going into bills, right? 50%. Savings, 20% of that 1,000 is now $200. 10% of the 1,000 investing, $100, spending $100, giving $100. We just named what the necessities are for this 50%. Yes, the necessities, about 7 things, 7 categories. That's where majority of our expenses are going, right? To the bills, 50%. Savings, 20%, that's $200. This is going to go towards your emergency fund, and then eventually this will cover these bills for at least 6 months to 12 months. So therefore, if something crazy happens like the wildfires in California and you're one of the ones that unfortunately lost your place, if you had your bills set to the side because you were saving for so long because you had great months, great years of consistent business, now you have over 12 months worth of life that you can now move calmly and not, what are we going to do? I didn't put nothing away. So now you're desperate and you're just doing things that you probably would never think about doing, but just to keep your head above water, right? So the savings. Then we have investing, 10%, $100. The biggest investment you can make right now is what you guys are doing, and that's investing in your skills. You guys are at this school to get better, to learn the skills, to learn the business of hair and running your own business. That now once you graduate and now you're on your own, do you just stop investing in yourself after that? There's other probably beauticians and things like that you might be aware of that you know that's killing it. What if they're having a workshop? That's investing in yourself to get there. So now you can do what? Learn from their wisdom. The best way to level up is learning from others' mistakes. And most of the people that we want to look at that's doing what we're doing, but at a bigger scale, if there's a way that they're teaching or they have a book or something of that nature, let me invest in that so I can pick their brain and now add it to my career so I can go to another level. Does that make sense? And then obviously traditional, yes, you can invest in the stock market and things of that nature. Or if you want to invest in a better blow dryer or, any of the supplies that are next level up, it will come out of this envelope. Spending, birthdays, anniversaries. Some might be spending them for Valentine's Day, maybe. I don't know. No telling what these days was going on with relationships. But nonetheless, spending, holidays, right? Vacay. If this envelope says nothing, guess what happens, y'all? Nothing. Kids, this is our budgeting system. This is our envelope for spending. So when you guys say you want something and I open that envelope and nothing's in it, oh, okay, that means we have to wait. We're already programming our children not to be wanty, spoiled, etc., and understanding how money works. That it's not always, the good old money doesn't grow on trees, right? That good old saying. But now there's an understanding. We know when birthdays are coming, right? So that means, what is the budget you want for yours Are your children or whoever's celebration, what's the budget for that? What's an ideal budget for your kid's birthday party? Just throw me a number. 300 to 400. Okay. Give me a bigger number. So $1,800, right? We all know once the birthday pass, that's a whole another 11 months, 12 months to get back there. How much now do you need to put away a month to hit that budget? To where now when the birthday comes, just like the emergency, oh, once I get this check, I'm going to put it all on the birthday party. No, don't do that. You're setting yourself up for constant stress because once the birthday party's over, or during the birthday party, dang, man, what we about to do? Because this is due next. Oh, no. You can't even enjoy it now because now you're already thinking of what happens the next day. And then whoever you did the celebration for, it's already over with in a couple days. Like the speed of gratification is getting worse as we're getting older, right? So you have 12 months to set up for that birthday. If you have more than one child, right? If you have some brother or sister that never really gets stuff, you now have a way to schedule that budgeting to where you don't, even if it's $200, that's $200 that you don't have to say, once I get paid, I'm going to do that, right? So it's allocated for that specifically. If you know you want to go on vacation, look at how much everything costs and now start putting away for it. Even if it's $20 every pay period. If you get paid twice a week, right, that's $40. You get paid twice a month, that's $40 a month. Oh, 10 months, that's $400. That's a flight. That's dinner. That's whatever going towards that. So now less comes out of, let me wait for that paycheck so then we can go. Does that make sense? Yes? No? Yes? Yes? Talk to me. Okay. Then we have giving, our tithing. The giving envelope saves you from those that want to borrow. If you got aunt, uncle, brother, sister, mom, dad, whoever, best friend, coworker, they need $50, $300. If you have $500 in here you go, have it. This is me giving back. This is my charity work, right? This is my tithing. I prefer to have this envelope to help out my family and friends versus just donating to the church, me personally, because I know exactly where my money's going, okay? For just me personally. But now I don't have to now become enemies by looking at my folks' story on the gram or on Facebook. Oh, I let you use $300. You said you're going to pay me back in 2 weeks. On the third week, I see your story. You out at the hookah bar. You out showing you got some new shoes. I know you didn't have those shoes. Is that what you use my money for? Wait a minute, right? We've been in these situations either on the side of giving or on the side of borrowing it, but knowing that we weren't able to pay it back and then just kind of, I'm going to get it to you when I get it. You know I'm good for it. 6 months go by. This right there, that borrowing money from our friends and family has created so much destruction. It's not even funny for $20, $50. I've seen for all amounts, right? Just because now you're a borrower and the lender is your friend, now that creates friction, or the parent, or who, like I said, our relative, that creates friction now. Now you're on eggshells. Now you can't look at your best friend or your family story or what they got going on without having some type of resentment built up because you're not worried about paying me back. You just out here still living life. I could have used that for this. I could have used that for that. And on the other side, man, why are you breathing down my neck? I'm going to pay you back. You didn't have that energy when you asked for it. Please, please, please let me get that. Ooh, I'm going to pay you back. And then days, weeks, months go by, that energy's not there no more. Why? Because their habits are probably not that good in the first place because we didn't check their credit report. We didn't check those hard inquiries. So this is the basic budgeting system. I promise you that will take your financial literacy to the next level because this is called self-accountability. These envelopes won't lie to you. These envelopes won't make you feel good. These envelopes won't give you a reason to say, I know I got my bill set to the side, but somebody's said they wanted to go out because it's their birthday party, but I only got $50 in here. They say I need like $200. Oh, well, the light bill ain't, the power bill is in 3 weeks. I'll get another paycheck before then. Bad behavior habits is what causes us to be in such a dip when it comes to our finances. We always have a choice. We always have a choice to say yes or no when it's our money that we worked for. You do not have to go out. Do not feel obligated. Regardless of the circumstances, you have to put yourself first. Do not just want to, oh, I got to please this and please that. Now when you go back and it's time for you to take care of you, now you're a little short. Now, I knew I shouldn't have did that. How many times we said that in our lifetime? I knew I shouldn't have spent money on that. It wasn't even all that. The hookah, the service, the food's terrible. I knew I shouldn't have went. They don't ever ask me to go stuff anyway. And I decided to go, and it was a waste of my money and time, right? So don't sacrifice what your path is. Your dreams and goals are more important than anybody else, even including our own kids at times. We have to make sure we're keeping ourselves happy and self-loved, because if we're not happy, how can we make our kids happy? How can we make our significant other happy? If we don't love ourselves and what we look at in the mirror, how can we project that on others? Versus, oh, let me put myself somewhere else and let me put on this fake facade and try to help everybody else out. Now we become lost, we become depressed, and now we forget what even makes us happy. Those simple things, right? So make sure that you're taking yourself accountability with this envelope system. It will change your financial future and your life. Speaking from personal experience. Next slide. No, any questions on that? Kurt, perfect. Almost wrapping up. Funding, OPM, other people's money. I like to say OBM, other banks' money. Money provided especially by an organization or government for a particular purpose. We have two ways of funding: personal credit, personal line of credit; business credit, business line of credit, interest rates on what they loan you between the two, right? What funding do you need to pursue whatever it is you're going for once you graduate here? Give me a number. What do you need? How much? 70,000. Anybody else? Show of hands if you even took the time to know how much you'll need, like you did your numbers. Who in here graduates? When's the next graduation? What's
Friday.
this Friday? Who's graduating? Who graduates tomorrow? Just one? And when's the next one? Congratulations. When's the next one? Next Friday? This Friday. Two. When's the next one after that? Who's the newest one in here? When's your date? Yeah, like when's your graduation date? Huh? Yeah, I know. September of this year? Oh, that's blink of an eye, man. Blink of an eye. Right? So, what you want to do, if you don't mind sharing, what is it that you want to do once you graduate? What direction you want to go? Nail studio? Perfect. What does that cost to get the leasing for that studio? So, what do you want it? How nice do you want it? You see what I'm saying? This is about you, not just in a broad question. This is you specifically. How nice do you want it? Where do you want your location at? Right? Perfect. Perfect. So now that means you need to make sure you have a system set up that can answer calls, where they can book those appointments by yourself, and there's something that can notify you days in advance, or if it's an emergency, how much you charge if they need you same day. What's that upcharge? Okay, so $50. So now, what ideally do you need to start this business with no stress? How much funding do you need? Say that again. 100 grand. So we got two ways. We making really good money now while we going to school to set it to the side, or we can get our credit in order, get our LLC that's cost literally less than nothing more than 5 grand at the most. And that's if you're in bad shape, like bad shape. Even not even that much to get you to be at that 100K level. If you were to start on your credit and lock in on that, you will get funding before you graduate. That's how swift, that's how quick the funding process can work for you on a personal and business side if you lock in and understand your credit and understand your spending habits and things of that nature, because it's our self-sabotage that'll get in the way once we're like, okay, we're gonna start this journey, but yeah, we don't even know what's our blind spots. Is it our kids that get the best of us sometimes? Is it the fact we think going to this concert or doing other things is more important than making sure I'm on top of my utilization and making sure I'm not missing late payments, right? So you can get that 100 grand before you graduate. I'm telling you, I know you can. I've helped people do it. Literally, that's plenty of time to get funded for that much. But it's also important that you have your blueprint, you have your plan, everything that, like you said, you want a 24-hour service, that location. All right, I want to be able to have a year's worth paid for my space. What are those numbers? And for all my ladies that haven't done that, these are exercises that whoever you connect with in here, I'm sure somebody has a bond with you, at least one person, right? Has a bond where you guys can work together, challenge each other, keep each other accountable to go after the things that you say you want. That's the beauty about all of you guys being in the same thing. Everybody wants to be a skilled stylist, nail tech, etc. Y'all are all in the same world, so you guys can literally come together and make sure, oh, you want to do that? Does that sound realistic? Well, I don't know. Okay, well, let's do some homework. Now the homework, right? We hate that word growing up. I did, but now I love it because my homework is how can I make my business better? After today, and I get to watch this back, how can I now what's my homework now to where I can make this better and more entertaining? I didn't get the ladies to laugh enough. So what can I do now to make the ladies laugh enough to possibly engage with me more? Or what can I do to make the room more warm to where more people want to actually volunteer and be a part of the presentation, right? That's my homework. So now I look forward to that because that's going to what? Get me better. So same for you ladies, it's the same thing, right? Grouping together, having a mastermind or a thinking tank on how what you're going for can get you to the next level. Does that make sense? Beautiful. So that's the funding. When I showed you that the perfect adult report card, when you have your data points lined up like that, you can get a personal credit card of $25,000. These are at credit unions: Navy Federal, One Nevada Credit Union, America First, Silver State, CCU, Clark County Credit Union, right? Going to Chase, you can get a 30, you can get a 50,000. Business credit, the best place for business credit: Chase, U.S. Bank. Those are my two personal favorites. Chase, you can get in there and get over 50 to 100,000 with no business experience. Your LLC doesn't need to be aged, but your adult report card's right, you will get approved because you're the personal guarantor for your LLC. Yes? So all this is possible. You can get approved for these things in realistic time. We're talking about 90 days, 6 months, 12 months if you're a slow learner to get approved. If you have a coach that can guide you through those things, it's all possible. When you hear these numbers, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, who in here feels like, do I really need that? Or can I get that? Is that achievable? That's already self-doubting yourself. It is achievable because it's people that's in worse situations that got there through trial, tribulations, and consistency. Does that make sense? So these numbers I'm throwing out I'm not saying 20 million, 2 million, 400 million. We're talking about brand new businesses getting 50,000, 25,000, 75,000, 100,000 in a matter of months. How long does it take to save $50,000 of your hard-earned money? Even if you're doing something illegal, how long does it take? And I'll tell you that it's not fast. Not faster than the bank saying approved, $50,000 that day. Here's a card. That day, you're approved for 50K. Get. Oh, whoa, I wasn't ready for that. That means you want to make sure you have your plan together, ready to go before you get approved for these limits. So it's a blessing if your credit isn't in the best position, that now you can get your business, you can get your blueprint stuff together, and by the time you get the funding, you now have a actual legit process of how you're going to use that money. My biggest thing is if you don't know what you're doing, I don't want to help you get funding because I don't want you to get that 50,000 and then blow it. What would you do if you blew 50,000? Because guess how fast we can go through 50K? Okay? Weeks. Weeks if your habits aren't on point. You can go through that extremely fast, right? So you want to make sure that your plan is in action and you know exactly the direction you're going. Next slide, please. Any questions on that?
Can I add to that?
Yes.
A lot of times what you can do, I tell my students, if you want to start off small, like I started off small with like, this is old school, like $5,000, $10,000. But
Mm-hmm.
what I did was go online or go to the newspapers and salons that was going out of business.
Yeah.
But their furniture was good, and I went and looked at the furniture.
Mm-hmm.
That saved me money on my furniture, so
Yep.
I didn't have to buy it brand new, but
Mm-hmm.
it looked good.
Yes.
So you can do that too until you can get on your feet. That's what I did.
Absolutely.
Another thing is if you have your niche, like you're gonna have a nail service 24/7. My salon was 24/7, but I catered to strippers, pimps, and hoes.
Come on.
But I did that.
Viva Las Vegas. Absolutely.
Yeah, I did that for years. And
Yeah.
I got a chance to travel all around the world because the dancers.
They gonna
when
pay.
Yeah.
They gonna
when
pay.
They order hair and stuff. If they meet Leroy and he has
Come
a
on.
ranch, that money that they gave to you,
Yep.
they'll tell you, you know, you can keep that and you can take that money and that's gravy.
Come on. Come on. Now you know what that right there is called wisdom. She knows what she's talking about because she's done it, right? But we come across as our own ego and be like, nah, what's she talking about? In one ear, out the other. She don't know what she's talking about.
Are those still around?
What's that?
The pimps and hoes?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Vegas, Vegas thrives on it. They don't got the NBA and professional teams coming here for no reason. Next slide. So, which one are you? Ask yourself, which one are you? One, I want my credit to be over the 700s. That gets you into any house you want. That gets you any car you want on a personal tip. That gets you over 25,000 in credit card limits, personal tip. If you need a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 personal loan, it'll get you there. Number two, I want business funding. Do you want to get the funding before you even graduate? That's what's on the table right now. Or if you just graduate, or if you're about to graduate, you can still be in position to start going for that. Three, I want both. I want better credit and business funding. So decide which one you are. If you want to have any further discussions, if you want to look over your credit report, I personally do free credit assessments where I help you read your credit report and know exactly how they're constantly scamming us on just of our lack of information and how simple it is to just do it yourself if you just give yourself just a little bit of time and consistency. These credit bureaus bank on us to get lazy. We send a letter out, no response. We send another letter out. Maybe one thing gets removed. Each time we send a letter, that's a month because they don't respond they have by law 30 to 45 days to respond. So about time you get to letter 5, and if you didn't get what you wanted, do we give up? And that's what the credit bureaus bank on because it's full circle. Interest rates is what they make money on. The credit bureaus are helping who out? Us or the credit companies, right? They are in no hurry to get you to the 700s where they barely make anything off your interest. So they're in full circle to be lazy on purpose so they can still benefit off the back end from these companies that are taxing everybody for having terrible credit. Does that make sense? So, like I said, I offer free credit assessments. Any questions, whether that's blueprint your business, business funding, type of credit cards, your budgeting, your expenses, how do you track them, anything of that nature, I'm an open book. I gatekeep nothing. You don't have to give me a single dollar, and I'm going to give you the best of myself and abilities because my goal is to impact the community overall. I have other ways of making money. I don't have to make money off of none of you guys for me to be successful, right? Miss Denise, she is not my client. I'm here because she said, hey, it's be a great thing. What I want to do, I want to offer information, open everybody's minds on what's possible, what can be done if you haven't thought about it. Or at least when I leave, you know, credit can be your best friend, not, credit, right? I hope I at least did that to where you now know credit can be an asset for you, right? That's the biggest thing I ask is that now you understand how credit can work for you instead of being afraid of it or think it's against you, and why all the successful people use it, need it to be in the position they're in. Next slide, please. Perfect. Scan his QR code. You can get my IG. If you want to book an appointment or anything of that nature, it's all on the QR code. Ladies, gents, I appreciate you guys big time for being here and allowing me to share what I love to do. If you guys have any questions, feel free. I'll still be chilling for a little bit. I'm in no rush or nothing like that. So feel free to ask me anything. I'm a judgment-free zone. I've heard every issue that has to deal with finances, or I've been through every issue that has to do with finances. So don't let your ego stop you from thinking, I'm going to look at you a certain way because you're dealing with something. No, come on, not even close. Like I said, I come from Tropicana and Nellis, okay, in the beginnings. If you know where Tropinellis is, you know, okay? Come on. So, like I said, once again, thank you, ladies, for your time. Yes.
I want to know how much, how much I can borrow
We have to see what your credit report looks like.
if everything's high.
Everything's good. 700, you can get 25, 50,000. Where do you bank at?
50,000.
Where do you bank? Huh?
Only 50,000.
No, you can do more than that. You can do more than that.
50,000 not enough to the business.
Where do you bank now?
Bank America.
Oh, we can get you 6 figures. We can get you over 100,000. 100, 150, 200.
Okay, how much lease is it? Rate? How much rate?
Huh?
How much the rate?
Rate? Good credit score, probably making maybe $800 payments monthly off over 6 figures. You probably pay back $800 a month for probably do terms of like 5-7 year term, loan term.
Is the rate is 6%?
Yeah, it could be lower. You could get 0%. Business credit card, you get 18 months, 0%. And we could get 3 credit cards for 50,000, 0% for 18 months. Yeah. So if business already in motion and making money, game over. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Any other questions? Thought I was gonna get one from you in the back. I'm getting no love in the back. It's all good. Any other questions? Anything? Okay, if you want to ask me one-on-one, like I said, I'm gonna be here for a little bit, so feel free to tap me on the shoulder. Anything else? Biggest thing I ask, follow me on IG at The Financial Trapper, which is on the QR code. I got a lot of great content on there as well that can give you the game.
Now y'all can pull out your phones and go on Instagram. Now they can pull out the phones and go on Instagram.
Any other questions? Any concerns? Anything not connecting? Anything not 1 + 1 = 2? Anything? Talk to me. I see a few deer in the headlights, but I'm not gonna blast nobody.
I have some on a personal basis, yes.
Perfect.
I will definitely ask mine.
Beautiful. Well, I know you guys have lunch. I appreciate you letting me Can hold y'all a little bit longer. Thank you very much, ladies. Sorry, and see how inaccurate.
It's three of them. I got my total numbers.
So we need to see how inaccurate they're reporting these accounts. So that means there's definitely wrong dates. There could be wrong amounts of what you owe and what you don't owe. Because when you're reading a credit report between all three bureaus, they all need to say the same thing. If one thing is off, that's called unverifiable, inaccurate. This needs to be removed off my credit report. You're reporting inaccurate
I
stuff.
don't know what my Experian is though.
That's fine.
I haven't looked at that one in a minute. But
What
my brother is. I'm on. What's that called?
authorized user? Okay.
I'm on my brother's credit card.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that's why I'm all green because it ain't for me.
Okay.
'Cause I don't
Hey,
have nothing.
leverage,
But
leverage.
yeah. Only thing red is the derogatory part. The year is I think it's 9 years.
Okay. Really good. Really good.
And I do got student loans though.
That's
But
not bad.
they in forbearance, so it's really like they in good standing
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
pay on them.
Yep. So that's solid.
But yeah, I don't know. What you do? Like, what's your consultation? What you do?
That's
Like
what.
how we set up?
You have my.
I do.
Yep. And you can just book an appointment, and then
I
we'll.
see you use Calendly. I
Yeah.
use that for taxes. But
See, you already know. So we basically just set up a Zoom call, and then we'll get
I
a
need to have